and our guest speaker again, Dr. Denise. So
Yes.
let's go. Let's take it away. What is the microbiome? We are dying to know. Please tell us.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And let me welcome every single person to the call tonight. If you have been on the call before, I say welcome. If you're coming on to the call for the first time tonight, let me say welcome, welcome. You are on at the right time, at the right place. You're going to get some powerful information tonight, information to fix the inflammation inside of your body. So you logging on tonight, it is an opportunity for you to understand your body some more. You may understand some aspects of your body that you never quite understood before. So we have the information here week after week. Feel free to come back any other week afterwards. This on Tuesday nights at 7:30 Jamaica time, so that we can be a part of this. Now, as usual, before we start, we also would like to do the disclaimer, the Sankey disclaimer. It says Sankey Global does not make any medical claims or state or imply that any product is formulated, designed, or approved by the company or any regulatory authority to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. The statements you are about to hear are part of the personal experience of the speaker or the people who participate in this presentation. So as we begin, we also like to begin in prayer. Let us pray. So, Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, we thank you for this opportunity to be here tonight. We thank you, Lord, for each person here representing each family. Lord, we pray for persons who may have some medical condition, something that the doctor may have told them recently. Somebody may be experiencing pain, discomfort right now. Someone may have done some medical procedure recently, and God, they are still experiencing difficulty from that. Father, in the name of Jesus, we ask that you bring relief and you bring remedy to people's situation as only you alone can heal. Thank you, Lord, for this subject matter. Thank you, Lord, for all persons online and those who will be coming on YouTube and also on this direct Zoom call. Bless, we pray. We give you the honor, we give you the glory, we give you the praise in Jesus' name. Amen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to be here tonight. For for quite a while now, mankind knew that bacteria and other microbes lives inside of us. This is not new. We have persons like Eli Mechnikov in the early 19th century telling us that the majority of diseases begins in the digestive system tract when good bacteria are no more able to control bad bacteria. And Mark Twain, the novelist, wrote about us that same time 100 years ago, telling us about his 3,000 year journey with the microbiome. That's the title of his book, with microbes, and how microbes are as important as the sunshine and as important as air. Now, if we knew that 100 years ago, I'm sure that the powers that be also knew, but some persons have not found it convenient to tell us all the information and details that we need to know about how the body functions. And ladies and gentlemen, you may be surprised that you thought that you were all human cells. But we have information, the latest, the cutting edge, coming out of the major journals, the major medical schools, the major hospitals, and all the major publications, and the who is who in terms of medical doctors and naturopathic doctors and other types of doctors, functional medicine doctors, who have taken the time to do the research over the last 15, 20 or so years and are giving us the very latest. So you've been here tonight, you are getting the best of the best. So yes, these microbes do live inside of us. Now the question is, um, what we don't know is how much of them are us and how much of them live inside of us. So we don't know how much, but we tonight we are going to answer some questions because some persons are asking how much of us are them and how much of them are us. Now, over the last couple of decades, the answers have been coming fast and furious. Like we're talking about studies started in 1990, the Human Genome Project. Then we have the Human Microbiome Project in 2008. We have the American Gut Project that started not too long ago We have major journals and universities and hospitals who are telling us about the latest update on microbes. But let me say to you categorically that your microbes are God's gift to you. The very day you were born, ladies and gentlemen, you got a gift from God that this is designed to help you as you stay on this planet. This is God's gift. This is not man's idea. Microbes is not man's idea. This is God's idea. We are not as smart as to include microbes on the earth, more so to live inside of us. So God is the one wrapped up, a special delivery wrapped up in love. You were able to get your microbes on the day you were born, as if to say you are not allowed to live a day on earth without your microbes, like your microbial hazmat suit, that you will need it to live every day of your life on this planet. And we're going to explore some reasons why. So we just want to establish that the microbes is God's idea. Microbes in our body is God's idea. And we were born, when we were born, 99% human cells on the very day we were born. We were 99% comprised of 99% human cells. Now, every adult, especially if the person passes 4 or 5 years old, a child going into adulthood, if you have passed 5 years old, 90% of your body is now comprised of microbes. Born 99% human, but from 4 or 5 years old, you become 90% microbes. Now, Clive, what are you talking about? Now, doctors usually tell us that certain parts of the body is sterile. You can never find microbes in those parts of the body. Ladies and gentlemen, the latest news coming out may surprise you, because I'm going to tell you some places that scientists are now finding out that microbes are, that you may be startled. What about in the placenta? That's where the child grows. Usually they say sterile, but guess what? Bacteria is inside of the placenta, supervising the growth of the child in the placenta. I can't comment a lot on it because I don't have a lot of time. Bacteria is found in the amniotic fluid. That's a fluid surrounding the fetus. And we are told that that fluid does not normally supposed to have bacteria in it. We are now finding out that bacteria is very much in it. Bacteria is found in the meconium. That is the first poo that the child releases. Bacteria is found in there. Hear this one now. Bacteria is even found in breast milk. 600 different species of bacteria is discovered to be inside of breast milk. That is why it is so critically important that children be breastfed and not be formula fed. There is no formula that men can make, put together 10,000 universities and 10 million doctors and scientists. They cannot formulate anything as intricate and as complicated as necessary as breast milk. Microbes are found, ladies and gentlemen, in breast milk. As a matter of fact, 30% of the breast milk that is produced by the breast cannot be digested by the child. So for centuries, especially over the last couple of decades, mankind and scientists and doctors have been wondering, why is the body, in particular the breast, producing human milk oligosaccharide, HMO, and the child has no digestive enzymes to digest HMO? The doctors are coming to the conclusion that HMO was never intended for the child. Guess what it was intended for? The bacteria in the lower part of the child's gut, to feed the bacteria. Then the bacteria break down the human milk oligosaccharide and feed the child with it and maintain the integrity of the digestive system. We are not smart enough to do that. Only God alone could design something like that. And it is amazing. It is inside breast milk. But here is this now. I know you're sitting down. Bacteria is now found to be discovered inside of the human brain. Inside the brain. Now, Dr. John, his last name is slipping me now, but it will come. Dr. John Gray, yes. He wrote the book entitled Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. He said in 2017, it was discovered that every one of your 100 billion brain cells, you call them neuron, is surrounded by 7 bacterial cells to work effectively and to work efficiently. Ladies and gentlemen, I never saw that coming. But the fact is that we have these bacteria in those places that we thought was sterile. Just to give you some more details, the human body is comprised of 10 trillion human cells. That's a lot. If you were to count all the stars in the known or the unknown universe, probably you would not find as many as 10 trillion cells. But here's what. We have 10 microbial cells for every human cells. So we have 100 trillion microbial cells inside of the human body, 10 to 1. If you think that is impressive, wait until you hear this one. In terms of genes, now when men started the Human Genome Project in 1990, President Clinton called a whole bag of people to come together to hear this massive intent to sequence and map all the genes in the human body. We were very hopeful that we'll be comprised of millions of genes, because after all, the rice grain is 38,000 genes, and the common worm is 46,000 genes. So we should be in a million because we are at the top of the food chain, at the top of the totem pole. So we should have millions. Here is the shock. Here is the surprise. Here is the humiliation. They only were able to count 22,500 genes. 22,500. So they counted again. Them counted day, them counted night, them count on Monday, they count on Sunday. Same 22,500 genes. And they were humbled. How come we only have 22,500 genes, but is able to function with such level of sophistication and such level of being the way that we are, intricacy? What they found out was that we cannot only count human genes, we have to count microbial genes. When they counted microbial genes, they got 3 million microbial genes. So when we thought we were the ones performing the functions all by ourselves, guess what? The human microbes were performing quite a good deal of the functions that we thought as humans we were performing for ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't live without bacteria. We cannot live without fungi. We can't live without protozoa. We can't live without archaea. We can't even live without the parasites. And all of them live inside of the human body. And we are now what is called an ecosystem. Microbes and humans living in one. So ladies and gentlemen, you, of course, like two sides of a coin. You know about your human self. Welcome tonight, for those of us hearing this for the first time, to your microbial self. Your human self and your microbial self living in the same body. And we are an ecosystem, and we have to humble ourselves and learn to live with these microbes. We call them all kind of different names. We call them bugs, we call them critters, we call them scum. But ladies and gentlemen, all of a sudden, bacteria put on bow tie and necktie and tuxedo and is now invited to the conference table because microbes does play an important role in our existence. 3 million microbial genes, ladies and gentlemen. So when it comes to bacteria, they surround us. They are on us. They are in us. They are ubiquitous. They are in our very DNA. They have become us. Ubiquitous means that they are all over the place. Anywhere you look in the body, you find microbes. If you open your mouth, there are more bacteria living in your mouth than there are people living on the planet. So, ladies and gentlemen, every time you breathe, you are breathing in bacteria. Every time you sneeze out bacteria. Every time you talk, bacteria is in and out of your mouth, and they are all over the orifices of our body, all over our body, and they have become a part of our body. And guess what? God intended it so, and God designed it so, according to this book in the Bible. Okay, it will come back. But ladies and gentlemen, 40% of the 100 trillion microbes live in a particular part of our body called the colon, the lower part of the gut, the distal gut. 40 trillion microorganisms, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need to look into the gaze into the among the stars and the universe to find a universe. We have more than a universe living inside of us. 100 trillion in the body, 39 trillion living inside of the gut. And scientists are saying that they are not just living there, they have formed an organ, and it is an invisible organ. They have given it a name. It's called the microbiome. The microbiome. From the time you have been going to doctor, some of us on this call maybe in their teens, some maybe in their 20s, some 30s, 40s, 50s, 70s, or 80. You have ever gone to the doctor and your doctor sound you with a trumpet, as old time people say, they sound you and say, you know, start picking up something with the microbiome. No, your doctor never tell you that. Your doctor have never told you. You never heard this in school. You do biology. You might have done it advanced level. And many of us, we have done our doctorate and still we did not know. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new you, the new version of you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a new era. This is a new age. And therefore, anytime you go back to your doctor again, ask your doctor about your hey doc, is it true that I have a microbiome? So if your doctor is writing a prescription for you, I don't know if Sir Townsend can help me with that. Thanks. If your doctor is writing a prescription for you, and if it's antibiotics, you say, doc, you're going to write me an antibiotic? I'm a microbial being, and you're going to write me an antibiotic to destroy bacteria? What is supposed to be the likely effect of that antibiotic on my gut? Ask doctors these questions and ask them if they cannot provide alternative to the antibiotics. And if you absolutely have to take it because of the severity of an infection, your doctor should prescribe for you prebiotics and probiotics to restore any damage done to your gut as a result of antibiotics. Am I making sense, ladies and gentlemen? I know you think that this is making sense because we have to bear in mind that we are mostly a microbial being. Now, we have these microbes living in the mucous lining of our gut. Those are called the gut microbiome. But just as how you have a gut microbiome, you have a skin microbiome, you have an oral microbiome, you have a brain microbiome, you have a biome in the vagina. You'll be hearing more about that from Dr. Denise tonight. Dr. Denise, I don't have any time to check now, but I hope you have made it to the call. And we have a biome on every opening in your eye, in your ear, in your nose, in your sinus cavity. But here is what, ladies and gentlemen, the gut microbiome is the pentagon of the biome, the central master biome, and all the other biomes are connected to the gut microbiome. Why is that significant? If the gut microbiome becomes damaged, you may see the damage reflected on different biomes across the body. So if a particular part of your gut is damaged, it may show up on your skin as a skin eruption, eczema, rosacea, dermatitis, contact dermatitis, and other type of skin-related disorder. Until you fix the gut, your dermatologist will give you some pill, some potion, lotion, or things from the ocean. It still won't work until you fix the source of the problem. What is the source of the problem? Inside of your gut. In essence, fix the gut, it fixes your skin. Fix the gut, it fixes your brain. Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, schizophrenia, autism, and all type of different neurological disorders can only be fixed if the gut is fixed. The sinus problem, the gut. The headaches you're having, is the gut. The liver problem, the gut. The vaginal problem, it is the gut. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the cutting edge. But guess what? You don't even have to believe anything Clive Campbell tell you tonight, because you know how to go on the search engine and check it out for yourself. And guess what? You will see 20 times same thing happens inside of the human body when there is gut dysbiosis. I don't know how much time I will have even to speak to that, what causes the gut to be unhealthy, unhappy, imbalanced. But ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons why the gut is important, it is your gut that determines a lot of things about you in terms of your mood. Your mood is determined by your gut microbiome because it makes serotonin, your feel good hormone. If you are not making sufficient serotonin, you might feel depressed, sad, anxious, moody, irritable. Have you ever met any person in that category yet? Hope that person is not you. So when the gut is not making sufficient serotonin, person will tend to have issues in terms of their mood. It is the gut. 90% or 95% of your serotonin is not made in the brain. It's made in the gut. Only about 5 to 10% is made in your skull. This is something amazing that the doctors are discovering. As a matter of fact, your gut makes 30 different neurotransmitters: dopamine, melatonin, GABA, norepinephrine, serotonin. It makes all of those. And these are things like messengers, hormones that is designed to have a certain physiological action on the body. This is revolutionary, ladies and gentlemen. This information that is now coming to us. It is the gut that controls your immune system. They tend to tell us that the immune system and the gut bacteria are constantly at war. Nothing could be further from the truth. It is the gut bacteria and your immune system are friends for life. They cross talk every day. The immune system depends on the gut microbes to make much of their food, to train them, to supervise the immune system, to raise the IQ of the immune system, as in the case of autoimmune diseases. When the gut is damaged, autoimmune diseases is prevalent. When the gut is fixed, it tells the bacteria tell the immune system soldiers, come back to home, guys, come back to base, come back to camp, because the war is over. Lupus, cancer, diabetes, and all those other arthritic conditions are as a result of a dysbiotic gut. And until the gut is fixed, the immune system will constantly be agitated, irritated, and inflammation will happen inside of the body. This is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The digestive system is maintained by the bacteria in the gut. Colitis, irritable bowel syndrome, all kind of different gastritis, acid reflux, and other types of different types of gut-related disorders, bloating and discomfort, ulcers, ulcerative colitis, all is related to a dysbiotic gut. The gut is unhealthy and the gut needs to be fixed. So just like any organ in the body, the gut microbiome can become damaged, and that is why we are often sick, and sometimes our doctors is barking up the wrong tree. We need, whenever many things are wrong in the body, check the root of the problem, see the health of the gut, and if you fix the gut will fix your life. So ladies and gentlemen, leaky gut, I can't toss leaky gut for tonight. There's a song that says, "Who run the world?" And the response was girls. Who run the world? Bacteria, microbes run the world. And we are just learning that. But I just want to point out to you before I dismiss myself and allow Dr. Denise to come on, is that one of the greatest dilemma we face today is inside of our very houses, our home. We have made our homes hostile to bacteria and microbes. A very deadly place to live is a very house. And we are mostly a microbial being. We have made the world a hostile place to microbes, but now find out that we are microbial beings. We live in glass houses and we are walking among people throwing stones. Ladies and gentlemen, the houses have become toxic. Our homes have become hostile, unfriendly, and deadly, a place to microbes. We have personal care products, 80,000 different chemicals, antibacterial soap, insect spray, bleach and chlorinated water, sanitizers, detergents, disinfectants, herbicides, weed killers, fungicides, antibiotics, prescription meds, over-the-counter meds, processed food that is refined, acidic, and processed that makes it poisonous, inflammatory, and nutrient lacking. And it contributes to the decimation of our gut microbiome. I hurry to close that because I need to bring on Dr. Denise at this time. Lady Denise, will you please indicate and let me hear your voice?
Yes, I'm here. Wow,
I
amazing.
I'm always happy to hear you because you are the Google when it comes to how this woman's health issues. You are the clinician. You are the one that have your patients. You are the ones that ladies come to. Many will come, but tonight to focus on the ladies with issues inside of their tissues. And you understand the Sankey products. You understand the gut, and our gut health is related to vaginal health. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of the way and I'm going to introduce you to greatness. One of the best persons you could ever hear speak. Her name is Joy. And when there is joy and laughter and smile in her voice, she is erudite and she is affable. She is beautiful and she's totally adorable. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of the way and allow Dr. Denise to come and speak to you on the topic of how the vaginal microbiome is related to the gut microbiome and vice versa, and what may be the resultant conditions. Lady Denise, I hand over to you, Your Highness. Please take it away.
Wow, amazing night to you all from wherever, what part of the world you are joining us from. Blessed night and greetings coming from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm so honored to share with you, my young ladies and my gentlemen as well, who's standing there in the gap for your young woman as well. I mean, this is a topic that from, yes, time memorial, the vagina has never changed. It's still vagina, and don't be ashamed to call the word, say the word. It's your vagina, my vagina, and we all love vaginas. Come on, let me hear you guys. Nobody ever turns away a vagina.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Right?
Hallelujah.
We are so beautifully and wonderfully made, you know. And as you know, we're talking about the microbiome and how the microbiome starts. Each person has an entirely unique network of microbiota that is originally determined by one's DNA. And guess what? It starts in a person's through the vaginal canal. A person is first exposed to microorganisms as an infant during delivery in the birth canal and through the mother's breast milk, as Master Clive so beautifully explained it for the past 20 minutes. So my work tonight is to share with you the primary bacteria And we are talking about the vaginal microbiome, which is the primary bacteria present in the vagina. I know Dr. Rutan had a slide up with the lactobacillus. That slide, maybe we'll find it later down. It's so beautifully, yes, I think scroll a little more. Yes, this slide. And if many of you can read this slide, it actually gives you the cycle of the vaginal microbiome and the importance of the bacteria lactobacillus. And this bacteria contributes to the regulation of the vaginal pH. And ladies, we must keep our vaginal pH, our vagina, at the level of 3.8 to 4.5. It goes higher, you get more acidity. If it goes lower, it gets out of balance. So we can have the production of bad bacteria happening in that vaginal canal. And what actually mediates infection, it's via the production of lactic acid. So if you are reading this slide, you can get even deeper information there as it explains. And what is lactic acid? What it does, it is able to stop the production of pathogens, bad bacteria, such as E. coli, gonorrhea, syphilis, HSV, HIV, you name it. These, diseases that may hit us through outside forces, through different, practices and so forth. And as Master Clive rightly said, I always say from a nutritional standpoint, when I evaluate, patients, everything I say, all diseases starts in the gut. Reset your gut, which is your microbiome. Now it's the clinical word. We have been preaching that from time memorial. And that is your genetic imprint. Once that goes out of balance, people, you are in serious trouble. And Master Clive explained all of that in the last 20 minutes. So now I will talk about how we support the vaginal microbiome and what happens when we, this microbiome goes out of balance. All right, when out of balance, our vaginal microbiota can also affect fertility, and unbalanced lactobacilli, which is more prevalent in the vagina. Once it's depleted, studies show women who experience something called RIF, which is recurrent implant failure, that women, are trying to get pregnant, they are losing their babies, they are not, through in vitro and all of these, they're trying, but seem to have a problem in holding that embryo in the uterus there. It stems from, most times when they look back, and studies have shown they have been suffering from some sort of vaginal dysbiosis. And Master Clive explained that earlier on, which is more bacteria moving to various genital that causes infections in the body, and it can stem back and trace back to bacterial vaginosis, which we call BV, which is the production of too much bacteria naturally found in the vagina. The microbial flora goes out of balance, causing a term that we hear, or maybe some of you for the first time who have never heard it, explain to you vaginitis. And many of that, what vaginitis is, many of our young women are experiencing this in these times, which is inflammation of the vagina, which can result in, you might have itching, sometimes pain, a discharge, and sometimes it can be caused by, lower estrogen levels after menopause in some of our women who has, going through a transition. And some, you get skin odors. Then there's also urinary tract infection, UTIs. When the microbes enter the urinary tract and cause infections, you get burnings, conditions like burning when you're urinating. Usually that is a bacteria that comes from the back door, the E. coli, which lives in the bowels. you know. So all of these imbalances within this ecosystem can also promote the risk of miscarriages. And you know, many people come to me and have been having problems getting, you know, pregnant and infertility, and you know, and they want to you know, try to understand why. And this is a very, very, you know, sensitive topic, because many people, it's so simple yet so hard for us ladies to really understand. And even the doctors now, as Master Clive has been saying, and now coming up with these, you know, latest information on the microbiome. But that has been studied from, as I said, since time memorial. We have known this, but just the clinical facility has not been able to explain this to the people. For what reasons? I don't know. But the information is out there, as he said, and people are getting wise and they are searching. So, folks, these also can actually lead, and in the connection of all these problems here, these issues that we face with our bacteria becoming out of balance in our vagina, can also cause, do you know that there is the microbiome is also associated, we talk about how the microbiome is associated with endometriosis. Those are some words that, you know, is really on the tongue of our young women, because we are suffering. And there are those who I know have been suffering for years, and no doctor can come up with an ease. But folks, we have information that can put some of these questions to rest. Endometriosis appears to be associated with increased levels of certain types of bacteria, such again as E. coli, a bacteria known to produce a toxin called lipopolysaccharides, LPS. Now, we're quoting some big words here, but it is simplified even on the slide if you are looking. And you can also take note and go and do your research, because time does not permit me to explain this in its entirety. But this is causation of inflammation response. In theory, LPS may have moved from the gut into the pelvic cavity, promoting endometriosis lesions. Note, bacteria aren't supposed to move from the gut to other locations in the body. But this happens when, listen, the integrity of the intestinal lining is compromised. And you know how it is compromised? It is known, a simple term, as leaky gut syndrome. And when that is compromised, remember these intestines, when it says it moves porous, it moves through and enter into other parts of the body, causing these disruptions and obsessions within the human microbiome. Even PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, it's also a complex endocrine and metabolic disorder. Folks, we have been talking and saying everything starts from the gut. If you cannot digest, you cannot break down your lipids, your simple sugars, your carbs, and all of these, and your system, enzymic function, your metabolic system is out of order. Guess what happens? All of these conditions starts to arise. PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, is associated with something called IR, insulin resistance, and it is considered as the primary pathological basis of its reproductive dysfunction. I hope you understand this, what I am saying. All right, the findings, for simplicity, shows that when you become insulin resistant, meaning that your pancreas is not able to produce the insulin to break down your simple sugars within 1 hour of eating your food, digestion takes place. It can cause that dysfunction and actually affects the reproduction in the human body. In the female, causation, gut microbiota out of balance. So you see, everything is associated and leading towards the gut microbiome. All right. And actually, when that intestinal flora goes disorders, we would have issues like PCOS in our body. Nutritional treatment for PCOS, given that the vital role of intestinal flora is regulated. So you can treat it nutritionally, right? Regulating the flora. You heard words like prebiotics, probiotics, right? It's now coming into plain view. Regulating the human metabolism, and is also will direct it to the intestinal bacteria. So when these bacteria go out of balance, all these conditions starts to arise in our body, and actually it affects the female issues that is ongoing in the female body, taking the vaginal microbiome out of balance. Then we have something called cervical erosion. Many women suffer from this and don't even know, and they do things to their bodies and doesn't even know how. They just suddenly, they are diagnosed. Okay, when you go look at your gyno and he tells you cervical ectropion, which is actually cervical erosion taking place. That happens when your cells from inside the cervical canal, known as the glandular cells, which are the soft gel, soft tissue cells in the cervix, which we call squamous cells, when they become out of balance or are present outside of the cervix, which comes out at this out on the neck of the womb, which is the cervix, the neck of the womb. And what symptoms do develop when you have this issue? You get untimely bleeding, spotting during or after sex. And what actually brings that back to balance is more uses of vitamin C, folate, vitamin B9, fruits, and cruciferous veggies that can actually prevent certain types of cancers, especially cervical cancer. So I am hoping that you're understanding why we are having some of these problems, even irregular periods. Our young women, because of the types of foods we are eating, we are obese, and I am not going to be ashamed to say it, because we eat all sorts of junk, especially fast foods outside there. And hey, let's face it, the foods that we are eating today, it's not healthy. It's cardboard. I say it openly because it is not nutrition we are putting into our bodies. And all of these are causing the human genome to go out of balance, because guess what? You can be embedded with all the great bacteria from mommy's vaginal canal as you come, your microbiota is fully equipped. But if we do certain things and eat certain things and put certain things and violate this beautiful life that the Creator has given to us, this is the outcome and the effect we are having. And then we want to fix it like plaster on a sore method by antibiotics, by douching, by potions, by lotions, as Master Clive say. And I get actually very, sensitive when I comes to this point, because it is so simple to correct these issues, yet we are so modernized in our thinking that the simplest of things that can bring the body back to balance is like, wow, it is so hard for us to do. And all we have to do is to be a bit disciplined. So for want of time, I just wanted to touch on some of these areas as we have an ongoing program every week. So we touch on these discussions of what goes on in a female body, especially when it comes to the vagina. And I just want to touch on before I come out of here and give way to the product line, in how we can, some of the do's and don'ts in keeping our vagina happy and healthy. Number one, do not douche. Wash with gentle soap. Keep the labia. I have to have I think I have seen a vagina up on top there. a picture of it, so we have an idea what it looks like. Okay, it's not labeled, but we will have one so that we can understand. And this is very important for even our males to understand the parts of the vagina, because it's a beautiful thing that God has given us. We bear life. It is a sacred place. So we must keep it healthy. We mustn't have all kinds of agents visiting it. We must have, to put it under, instructions for productive usage. Okay, so we wash it with gentle soap, keep the labia and around the vagina clean, no scented soaps or high chemical body wash. Many of us like to wash and douche and clean, like if it is a piece of a mat or a carpet you're cleaning. No, it has its own scent, it has its own odor. And if we put that odor or that pH out of balance, a lot of other alien things can come in there and cause disruption. So we must never upset the natural pH. Use exterior deodorizing products, natural body oils, change your underwear, use more cotton. I always tell my ladies and even my guys, wear more cotton undies and white. The reason for these undergarments is that these colored garments actually has dyes in them. So when you sweat, or if you are at work and you sweat, these chemicals is absorbed into the skin and can cause a lot of unwanted bacteria, and it can upset the bacterial levels, which can lead to infections in the body. Some of us, you can even use vinegar, soak in vinegar, hot baths, pour a cup or two of apple cider vinegar into your warm bath and soak for 20 minutes. The vinegar actually is a natural reducer for bacteria. Maintain a healthy diet. As I was talking earlier, drink lots of water. Try not to wear too tight. Your vagina needs to breathe. I know in these modern times, our ladies like to wear floss. I call it floss. Sorry, excuse me. But I get really, really upset when, you want to wear all these fancy thongs and so forth, sticking up there and causing, constriction and bruising. And then you want to know why I get this burning, why I have this itching, why is these squamous cells, irritated. All of these, keep the vagina able to breathe. When you go to sleep at night, do not wear no undies. It is allowed, it's open to breathing so that it can be comfortable and rest peacefully. Yes, the vagina needs to rest peacefully and breathe, right? Panty liners. I think last week there was a question out of St. Lucia. A gentleman was asking, the types of sanitary napkins a woman, just, for information's sake. Some of the panty liners and sanitary napkins, try to get the healthy ones. I think they have a pH napkins medically graded that you can use, because many of these panty liners and sanitary napkins, they have scented ones, and it can affect the bacteria in the vagina and cause irritation and burning and itching as well. So use original and non-scented ones, because these two can offset the bacteria and cause, infection, and you might experience burning, itching, and so forth. So sometimes you need to use some discretion, some, a little bit of sit down and think what you have been eating. Certain types of foods can cause, the bacteria to go off out of balance in the vagina as well. It's high spicy, because especially if you're not digesting, breaking down your foods, and you're having, high sugars, like insulin resistance, women with PCOS and all of these conditions, endometriosis, fibroids, and all of these things, you have to cut down on the spicy until you can get that balance back in order. Right? Tampons. I mean, I know it's a modern day, but you have to be very careful, because young women, you can damage and cause abrasion, etc., and cause tissues to get damaged. And then you find yourself having problems later down in life when you want to become pregnant and so forth. It can, offset all of these things. So in terms of eating your foods and digestion and healthy and so forth, PCOS has been associated, as I said, with your enzymic function in your body, because if you don't break down, especially protease, amylase, glucoamylase, and all of these lipids, the fatty lipids, it causes a disruption. And that is why many of you would wonder, why my doctor give me tablets to regulate insulin in our body when you have fibroids, when you have PCOS, and so forth. I know some of you women outside there can identify. They give you some of the known ones we know as Diamicron, Glucophase, and all of these to regulate the sugar. Is a diabetic tablet they give you. But it is basically in the digestion part that causes these issues to arise. And Master Clive so wonderfully explained that. So do you see, my young ladies and my ladies and my beautiful women outside there, what is the connection with the vaginal microbiome and how it is connected to the gut microbiome? I always say that at the end, everything starts at the gut. You reset that gut, you reset your life. You have peace. You can bear your children even at the age of 42, 52. If you have never been pregnant, I am telling you, once we can get your microbiome in order, let me tell you something. You women, I have been hearing cries even now. The woman wants to have their baby, their little bundle of joy, at least to leave some legacy behind. And because of all these conditions, they are being bombarded and saying, no, that cannot happen because you have this, because hello, we are here today to tell you that we have something wonderful we can offer you, and you can still have that peaceful, have that bundle of joy in your life. Back over to you, Master Clive.
Wow, wow, wow. What a mouthful. Denise, I thank you so much. There's a quick question that I'll ask if you wouldn't mind just speaking to for even a minute or two.
Yes.
That how a lady's vaginal microbiome might be disrupted by the insertion of some men units, how it can disrupt it and what problems it may cause. Would you like to take a minute and speak to that, please?
If I heard you clearly, you mean like through sexual intercourse?
Yes.
All right. Well, with a woman, sometimes I always tell my guys and my girls that you can have a really excited penis going into an unwanted vagina. And when I mean an unwanted vagina, I mean a penis also has its own microbiome and its own bacteria that comes with it. So in a intimate relationship, you know that you must have your woman ready for you. So you must have that, she must be lubricated enough to welcome you in there. If you go in there unwelcome, as much as you both might want to, you can damage those glandular cells, which is the soft gel, soft tissues of that vagina cell in. And what can happen, you can cause abrasions. And when that happens, she would get burning, she would get injured, because remember, that penis also comes with its own microbiome. Now, sometimes there are bacteria lying in the pineal gland that is very dormant in men. You will not find a man itching or burning unless STD is involved and it is overwhelming, because some STDs can show up almost immediately. But in some are silent. You can have a UTI bacteria. It may not be an STD, but they hide because men, we women are very open. So we have 3 holes: the back hole, the middle hole, and the one we pee from. I mean, I'm being very open, the vagina and the anus. So things can travel back and forth. In men, look, you hang at the front, so that is very hardly likely to reach to the anus to find some E. coli or some bacteria entering there. But when it enters from the guy, she can develop those things. So they might have these bacteria entering, and because of the abrasions, at least let her be lubricated enough to welcome you in. so that we would not have many of these, abrasives taking place and cause the bacteria, the microbiome, to go out of balance, which is the microbiota. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, I believe you do. I don't know if time will be left at the end to answer some questions, but somebody's asking, what about women who have passed the age of childbearing? And things of that nature. Some questions are coming up. So at the end, we will just want you to know that we'll be answering some of these questions at the end. So please stay tuned. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to report to you that even though we may have problems with a dysbiotic gut, that there is some good news for you, that from 1970, a team of Japanese scientists made a powerful observation that whereas the average American lives to be about 74 years old, and the average Japanese mainlander rather, lives to be about 90 years old, there is an island in Japan called Okinawa. Some of you might have heard about it, that they tend to have a lot of centenarians. And it is one of the blue zones that is said to be one of the healthiest places in the world, in terms of how long people live. Not only how long, but how healthy they live. I'm not talking about people at 100 that look popped down, people look sad and droopy and barely making it. No. These are people, some of them still farming, at 100 still fishing, and in the evening they meet in community, one big dinner, where them drink tea and them eat and they laugh and they smile. Can I give you a little hint? A little secret of the Japanese? Many of them do not eat 100% full. Not like us here in the Caribbean or in Jamaica in particular, that we eat and, as them say, you stretch your maw. You eat until your belly busts. No, they don't eat like that. They eat 80% full. So they don't eat until the belly touch the table. They eat until they feel like they're gonna eat some more, but they know the importance of not stuffing too much and not overworking their digestive system. So while these Japanese scientists made these observations, one of the things they found out in terms of why is it that the centenarians live such a long, healthy life is that their gut. The commonality is that their GI tract, their alimentary canal, or their gut, digestive system, tends to be healthy. They are saying 100 on their birth paper, but their gut is looking like that of a 30 or 40-year-old person. Ladies and gentlemen, if the gut is healthy, you can be healthy. Dr. Hippocrates said it 2,500 years ago. All diseases begins where? Inside of the gut. Every day, modern medical science is confirming that by the major medical journals and publishers and all the mainstream medical conferences, they are confirming that the gut is where it's at. So the gut is the center of attention. And that is why tonight we had to see how the gut relates in particular to some of the major issues that female have. Now, these Japanese scientists did not only make an observation about the gut, but what they have done, they have made formulations to assist people who cannot live in Okinawa, Japan, and those who live in distant lands, to also begin to enjoy a better quality of gut health and gut life. And they have made 4 formulations, of which Dr. Denise and myself will be making mention of these formulations right now. So ladies and gentlemen, we have been practicing some habits that destroys and damages our gut, but here is an opportunity to restore. Somebody said, nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but starting tonight, you can decide a new ending. Instead of ending with the different gut-related diseases and disorders, how about having a healthier gut, a happier gut, a stronger gut, meaning that the microbes and particularly the bacteria are happy and healthy vibrant and kicking, and is willing to take you to the next levels of your life. Let me inject this by saying there's a Dr. Bedi Edeas. He's a chief scientific officer here at Sankey Global. And he is going to be on a special call tomorrow night, talking about the latest updates on these products and why you need these products in your good up body. All you got to do is get back to the person who invited you to this call so that you can be on that call to hear the latest science and discovery. But ladies and gentlemen, we are having a lot of hope because now we find out the cause of our problems. We can now find the solutions to it in terms of these 4 amazing products. Now, when I was invited to Florida in 2019, November, before COVID came, I was able to meet the CEO of Sankey Global for the North Americas, Mr. Arvida. And he is just such a kind gentleman. And he's going to take this company to the $1 billion level and beyond. And our Chief Sales Marketing Officer, Dr. Helen Delahousse Clay. She is just the most beautiful person that you want to know, you need to know. She has made 10 million persons. She has been a millionaire 10 million times over, and she has made 30 odd persons into millionaires. You want to keep her company. And Queen Fabiola, Sir Tim Trey, and others, members of the executive there. And friends, we are part of a powerful company. So when I went to that meeting in Florida, 2019, I heard him say these products helps 100% of the time for 100% of the people. I'm not accustomed to that. So I said to myself, no Sankey can sing so. Only to know that the company's name Sankey Global, so the Sankey does sing so after all. Their mantra is reverse, recover, and restore. Those 3 words will become your words, will become your experience. Reverse, recover, and restore. So, Dr. Denise, as we look at Asahi, a dietary supplement powder, which utilizes a technology called Bovia. This product, Dr. Denise,
Yes.
you want to tell us what is one of the main benefits of Asahi?
Wow. It has so many benefits that we don't really have a main.
Speak to the one about the microbiota.
Yes.
596
right.
metabolites.
The main benefit of the Hasaki, as you see there, it nourishes over 596 metabolites, the microbiota with 596 metabolites. So, folks, this Hasaki, actually, many people have been having issues with their gut and their proteins absorption, because many of us cannot digest our proteins. And even our guys who are working out in the gym and pumping and taking protein powders, your body is not able, the poor liver cannot even digest and absorb the amount of proteins in your system. So when these proteins metabolism doesn't take place, then you start to develop these lipids in the bloodstream, and it gives rise to all kinds of issues, cardiovascular issues, circulatory issues, not going at the microcirculation level. So it improves the protein absorption by 20%. It also increases the oxidation of fat. So the body can actually easily break down and digest. You heard me use some words earlier on: protease, amylase, lipoamylase, and all of these things. These are wonderful amino acids and enzymic functions that helps to balance and break down, the foods, our carbohydrates, our glucose, our proteins in our body. It also actually produces the energy to trillions of the mitochondria. Folks, do you know what is the mitochondria? The mitochondria is your power cells, in your blood cells, in your body. So when you use the Hasaki, it comes in 2 beautiful flavors, chocolate and vanilla. And many persons who say they never drink chocolate, they don't like chocolate, when they tasted the chocolate, it was, wow, amazing. So they didn't have a favorite then. They would take either one once it comes there. And that is what it does. The Hasaki does. It actually regulates and get back that microbiome, that gut microbiome back in order. So most times when I start someone on a program, I would start them on the Hasaki to reset that gut. Take it back over, Master Clive.
Wow, thank you so much. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have ever taken any antibiotic and if you have lived on prescription medication, if your diet has been poor because you did not realize that you have a microbiome to take care of, then quite likely you have not taken care of it. It has become damaged and therefore dysfunctional. Here is what the Japanese said.
Hello, I think I lost you there. I'm not hearing.
I'm not sure what is happening there, Dr. Denise, but it seems like Clive fell from the call. So maybe what you could do, Dr. Denise, is I'm not sure if there's anything else you want to say on the Hasaki, or you want us to jump over to the Belage.
No, let's move forward.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Dr. Denise, I mean, based on what we know and what we have heard, you know, each week about the Belage definitely is a flagship product, but based on, you know, when we listen to all of these products, it seems to me like all four is a flagship product. So talk to us about the Belage and how does it help with the microbiome?
All right, well, the Belage actually, as we have explained, we have the medicalized solutions for tomorrow, and this is actually a metabolic syndrome has been facing us from day one. And these factors are actually raising our risk for heart disease and other health problems such as diabetes and stroke. So the metabolic syndrome is becoming the major health issue around the world today. So why our Belage? Our Belage benefits us by deactivating our body's antioxidants, things that were dormant in our body. It increases the energy production naturally, as you see on the slide there, and also improves blood circulation. Because when the blood cannot circulate throughout the body, or it means oxygenate the blood cells, it has the properties to oxygenate the blood cells and actually, you know, get that vasodilation going on in the system. If we don't have that happening in our bodies, our blood cells thrombosis means they become narrow and we cannot get enough blood flowing through. So you would have seen that we have an equipment there that when they check the befores and after using the product, how you can see blood flowing at the microcirculation level. Many persons do not get blood flow going through at that microcirculation level. Why? Because some of these valves in those, and we notice thrombosis of the veins, that we would see varices of the veins. We call them varicose veins, darkening veins around the legs and so forth. That is the problem because blood is not flowing through those vessels. So what the Belage does, it actually repairs goes at that mitochondrial level and starts breaking down the fatty lipids in the bloodstream. It stimulates and increases the body major antioxidant enzymic function. So it helps with the breaking down and the digestion of the food, the complex rich in fermentation, the metabolites, actually things called, you know, pyroglutamic acid, which supports the mental energy, and trigonelline, and all of these regulating the metabolic enzymic function in the body. So this is what the Belage does. It actually breaks down, builds, and improves the metabolism and enhance the energy balance as well in the body. Don't talk about the cells at the interior of cells and mitochondria. So it is responsible for supplying the energy. So most persons, when they use the Belage, they feel energized. They feel, you know, that they can, the lethargic feelings and circulation. They can feel tinglings in parts that weren't dormant. And there was, why am I getting pulsing here and pulsing there? It's because these nerve endings now are activated and blood is flowing through these vessels. Back over to you, Queen Bev.
Amazing, absolutely amazing, Dr. Denise. Thank you so much. Mr. Campbell, are you back on, sir?
Are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we're hearing you loud and clear. We are hearing you loud and clear, sir.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened there, but you know, I'm happy to be back again. But
Exactly.
I'm thank you for chipping in, Lady Bev and Dr. Denise, for explaining to us about the Bellage. Well, we're going to look at the Conway fire. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a product. I know the Japanese like to drink teas. We have a product that the Japanese have shared their secrets with us in terms of a tea. We're not talking about no ordinary tea we go to the supermarket and buy. This is tea with attitude. When you drink this tea, it does certain things inside of the body that no other tea has ever done this for you in your entire life. Now, Dr. Denise, would you like to tell us in terms of how this particular Conway Fire product, let me just say to the persons that you empty the content in a cup, you pour hot water on it, and you sip it as a tea. The taste is good, the smell is good, nutrition never tasted so great. Would you like to tell us how this product helps with sleep, please?
Wow. Well, people, you must get 8 hours of rest every night. Not many of us get that. But what the Conway Fire does, it actually gives you a peaceful rest, because when you drink it warm before you go to bed, as Clive gracefully and religiously say how you mix it and how you pour it in your cup and how you sip it before you go to bed, it improves the body regeneration at night. You must get between 10 to 3 in the morning, that time of rest, because that's when the body goes to sleep, starts to build, starts to remove. That's when your circadian rhythm and the organs in the body starts to reset itself and do its work, either repair, breaking down, restoring, and building up. And that's the time that the body needs that restorative rest, and the adrenal starts working. So the Conway Fire gives us that regeneration at night by reducing the accumulation of fats. So some people, when they took it for the first time, they felt a heat in their body. They feel their body's heating up. Yes, it's because thermogenesis, something called thermogenesis, is starting to work, which is the burning and removing of fatty tissues around your organs. So folks, you might be looking really slim and nice walking down the road, but internally around those organs are full of fat and cholesterol deposits. So it actually starts to break down that fat, principally around the abdominal area, and also controls the cholesterol amount that is there, that is producing by that is not breaking down by the liver. So that is what the Conway does, and it has been developed with nanotechnology, ADS, which is something called advanced delivery system, which allows the ingredients to even lead directly to the site of the place in the body where it's effective in the body. So the interior of the cells again, and mitochondria, organelles, are responsible for supplying most of those energies necessary for cellular activities. And it also helps gastric protection and antioxidation in the system. So it actually helps the stomach lining as well, because sometimes when we don't eat and we eat untimely, the gastric juices starts to produce in your stomach and starts to wear and tear and eat away at the stomach lining. So what it does, it starts to help protect that against all these things called, all these fancy words, atrophic gastritis and all of these things that goes on within the stomach wall. Back over to you, Clive.
Yeah, thank you so much. Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, this product, when you drink it as a tea, especially with your dinner, for example, it reduces the amount of carbs and sugar absorbed from the meal by about 25%. And you know, nowadays they're putting all kind of different food additives and different toxic stuff in it. How about a product that helps you to prevent you and safeguard you from being exposed to these toxins by warding it away from your body and mainstream system? This is a top line product. And anybody on the call who may have friends and family members, or you yourself may have concerns for diabetes, this is the product that many persons are using in relation to diabetes, to control their diabetes and the sugar insulin levels inside of the body because of the anti-glycemic activity that it promotes. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a product that we have always prayed for. Burns fat while you sleep. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is the dream product of the Japanese now being shared to you. Now, as we move on and speak about the last product called Inner 7, this is a product that contains all the necessary minerals that your body needs to replenish the mineral stores. Dr. Linus Pauling tells us that all diseases can be traced to a mineral deficiency. We might be deficient in minerals because, first of all, it's not in the soil. Glyphosate and other things cause it not to be in the soil, and the bacteria it kills out in the soil makes the bacteria not there to break down the minerals for the different plants. So also the food you're eating is void of minerals, and that is why they have to put so much sugar and fat and salt in it to give it any taste. But when you consume that exorbitant amount of additives, then it has implications for your health and on your body. It gets out of whack. So ladies and gentlemen, here is a product that is designed to help with the pH of your body, to provide an environment that your bad bacteria want to pack its bag and go. The viral cells is uncomfortable, and all the other cancer cells that will try to emerge from time to time cannot live in this environment that this Inner 7 is now providing for you. So ladies and gentlemen, these are 4 products. Other companies make 40 or 400 or 4,000 products. Sankey Global only have 4 products. But what it does is the most important thing. They don't fix symptoms. They decide to fix the systems that controls the body, and therefore the body now is able to run at the proper level that it's supposed to run. Now, I cannot stop talking about Inner 7 until I suggest to you that one of the things it does, it relaxes and revitalizes your body. One of the organs that it relaxes is the lower part of your gut called the colon. Many persons go to the bathroom and they do not have good experiences. I will need your permission to be in the bathroom just for 1 minute, because sometimes we go to the bathroom and we strain, we are in pain, and often complain that we are there for how long and there is no flow, including many persons who have to do devotions in the bathroom because they spend so much time in the bathroom and they cannot have the movement they are looking for. So ladies and gentlemen, here is a product that, because the peristaltic movement of your colon is disrupted, oftentimes by medication, it causes the nerves to be deadened, and therefore the flow, the timely flow of feces through the colon is affected. Here comes a product that relaxes the colon, allow for the flow. The fear you have of going to the bathroom, those days are gone. In 5 minutes, you make a deposit you are proud of. And let me say to you in the last couple of seconds, don't be too stush to look at your tush. Look in the bowl and see what you have deposited. It is telling a big story in terms of what is going on inside of your body. If there is blood in it, be very concerned. Check it out. And go to Bristol's stools chart and you will get the full details on how the stool is supposed to look. I won't burden you with the details. But ladies and gentlemen, this might have saved somebody's life tonight, or at least given a better bathroom experience. Now let me come back out of your bathroom. But ladies and gentlemen, we have products that work. We say to people, bless it and take it, and you will see the big difference that these products make. Dr. Denise, do you have any comments to make here?
But wow, there's so many things we can say about this Inner 7, because in today's lifestyle we are deficient in our bodies, especially when it comes to these minerals. And just to add a little bit, these minerals is magnesium, calcium, potassium, selenium, zinc, copper. All of these are what is needed in our everyday life. We need to take these minerals, and we don't get these minerals from the foods we eat. So here comes a Sankey system that actually gives us these minerals so that it can actually balance your pH in your body, improves your hormone imbalances in the body, relax, as you rightfully say, your nervous system. And I just want to touch how important magnesium is, because magnesium helps to convert blood sugar to energy. It is a natural anti-stress agent. It also attracts water to the intestines as soon as digestion, as you explained. Calcium helps the body to reduce body acidity, also helps to build red blood cells, also helps to oxygenate the blood, also helps to carry, makes the body hypoxia more able in the system in terms of releasing blood throughout these microcirculation vessels at the microcirculation level. Selenium has that effect on vitamin C. When you take a B complex, you have to take vitamin C for absorption to regenerate and protects the microcirculation in the body. Potassium regulates the heart and muscles and promotes the smooth transmission of signals caused by stimulus along nerves. Persons who have issues with nerves, damaged nerves, spinal injury, anything concerning nerve and blood circulation in the body, it actually helps to stimulate these nerve endings in the system. Copper regulates blood cholesterol. So folks, there you have it, all in one package. Back over to you, Sir Clive.
Okay, great. So now, Queen, Dr. Denise, I'm actually looking at some of the questions that are posted in the chat.
Yes.
And I'm seeing one that says, good night. Does these products eliminate the need to take multivitamins? And while you're speaking at that, what causes bad smelling, passing wind, as it sometimes do from the gut?
Wow. I mean, folks, let me tell you something. We need to supplement our body. It is not a matter of we don't and to replace. When you have something and a product line is in your hands to start regulating what these products does, what Dr. Edia's main formulation of these products is to get the body back to a place called homeostasis, where the body can produce, bring the pH back to balance in the body, especially the gut. And we have to really thank God and thank the divine, because as an orthomolecular specialist, which means I treat people at a cellular level and reset their genetic dysfunctions and microbiomes, actually, this has been a prayer answered, because no products that I have seen can actually hit that blood barrier and get straight to work in these cells. And Dr. Edias has nailed that for us. So folks, yes, I will say you don't have to eliminate your multivitamins. You can still take your multivitamins in the foods that you eat and so forth. But these products are going to bring about homeostasis, where the body can produce, the organs and organ function can produce the cells can produce these enzymic functions so that the body can become regulated once more. Yes, it is going to, once the gut is regulated and the balance get back to normal and the microbiome and everything is working and functioning, you won't have the need to be passing smelly gas, because that could tell you that there is bacteria building up, colitis, mild form of IBS, inflammatory bowel syndrome and all of these things. Sometimes you have to look at the foods you eat. And that is where it all starts. As I said, maybe you guys came in late on the call, but that is what has been said in our conversation tonight. Any other questions? I'm seeing some here. Does contraceptives throw off your pH balance? Yes, it does. And all these creams that we are using, as Master Clive said, lotions and potions. Yes, your vagina is made to have a certain pH, 4.5, 4.8 to 4.5. I'm sorry, as the case may be, 5. And we have to understand these things can even affect us. Women who wants to become pregnant. I see a lot of these questions herein. I mean, fibroids and all of these things. When your digestive system goes out of balance, it's fibroids, PCOS, all of them are associated with the gut and the microbiota flora that goes out of balance, acidity, foods that you eat. We always want to eat oily things, the KFCs, different things. All these things has been affecting us, and we have been doing this since time immemorial. All right. And you don't know, but now we have the information that is being passed down. So we have to try to work on eating healthy, doing certain things and getting the body back to normal. Back over to you, Sir Clive.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, I think you've answered most of the questions that I am seeing here, and I really thank you so much for the effort you have made and the time you have taken. Just to reiterate that comes tomorrow night, there will be a special call with our Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. Bedi Edeas. He's from Japan, and he will be speaking to issues in terms of the products and how they can further enhance, how they are further enhanced to deal with the issues that you have in your bodies. So just get back to the person who asked you and invite you to this call, and they will give you details in terms of the time and the login for that particular call. Now, I also want to say to you that every Tuesday night we are on this particular time at 7:30 on the same Zoom link. Please feel free to come back and invite a friend, because we want to start a microbiome awareness community and movement, not only in Jamaica and the Caribbean, but to go back into the world and the diaspora with this, and to cause everybody to know, from every nook and cranny, from baby to granny, to understand that they have a microbiome and we need to take care of it. And your gut is home to the
Awesome.
microbiome. Now,
Awesome.
also come next week, we want to take a little look at weight issues. Are you struggling to lose some weight? Have you gone to all the brand name gyms? Have you tried all the different things to make you lose weight, all the different products? You are going to understand how the gut microbiome affects weight-related issues. And in fixing the gut microbiome, you may see how we can help you to reshape and look great. And our Stella got her groove back. There's a particular bacteria that you want to make sure that you attract that guy, that guy is the bacteria that helps you to reshape and look great. Now, Lady Bev, do you have any comment to make as we close this call?
Absolutely, Sir Clive. Absolutely. Oh my God, Dr. Denise, you did an awesome job. Fantastic. And you know my word, fabulous. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Sir Clive. Thank you to all the listeners. We have listeners on our YouTube channel. And I want to tell you something. I have exciting news for you. Our CSMO is on the line, Dr. Helen. Our CEO is also on the line, listening.
Wow.
Dr. Denise and Clive, and they're just overjoyed at the work that we are doing. And I want to bring on none other right now, a beautiful lady, Dr. Ellen. Oh my God, she's awesome. She's knowledgeable. Oh my God, I'm telling you, she's a leader with a leader 10 times over. And let me tell you something. When you hear her speak tonight, then you're going to understand, exactly the kind of person that she is. But I have even better news for you. Between the 23rd to the 24th of this month, which is just next week, she will be here in Jamaica in live and living colors. She's going to be in Jamaica to work with us for 2 whole weeks. 2 weeks she's going to be here. She's going to be doing radio. She's going to be doing TV. Yes. And I'll tell you, we are going to be launching the microbiome movement on the 1st of right here in Jamaica.
Yes.
It's going to be launching in Trinidad at the same time. Through our broadcast. It's going to be launching in Canada. It's going to be launching in Bahamas. It's going to be launching all over. And Dr. Helen is on the cusp right now of moving through the entire Caribbean. So she has already gone to Bahamas, and next week she will be here in Jamaica. Let me tell you something, guys. She is a beautiful soul. She loves Sankey Global. She loves people with her whole heart. That girl will go the extra mile to get it done. And this is why she's going to be right here with us in Jamaica. And I'll tell you, where she is in Texas right now as we speak, she's experiencing a snowstorm. Her internet has been going in and out all morning. She's next door. She walked next door in the rain and the storm just to be on this call for us. And I'm going to ask, my beautiful Dr. Helen, are you here with us, ma'am?
I am here. I am fired up. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Can you hear me, Queen Beverly Wholeness?
Wow, we are hearing you loud and clear, you beautiful girl. We are hearing you loud and clear.
Let me tell you, you are so right. It was just so worth it, though. I said I wasn't going to go outside until the snowstorm cleared up. But you know what, Queen Beverly Wholeness, you are the only one that could get me to go and find me some good Wi-Fi so I could jump on this call very quickly with you guys tonight. So I want to first of all give a shout out right back to you. You are such a queen. You are a true servant leader. So phenomenal, exceptional vision, incredible individual, someone who moves with a spirit of excellence. You stretch me as I have been allowed to stretch you, and I don't take that lightly one iota, to serve next to a champion for the underdog. You truly reach back with your passion and your compassion and your vision for change, not just in Jamaica, but in the world. And I am so honored, so blessed that you are someone who has decided to be the ambassador of the Caribbean market. And we could not do any of this without you, ma'am. So I salute you tonight. I honor you tonight, and your entire team, your staff, all of the people that have believed from day one. King Clive Campbell from day one, Queen Dr. Yvonne Monroe, King Dean Eubanks. Oh my goodness. I hate to start calling names because the list goes on. And I never want to leave anybody out, but everybody that's on this call tonight, thank you. Thank you so much for even believing with us at Sankey, for believing in us in Sankey. Jamaica, you rock. And I know we've got people on from Trinidad, Dr. Denise. I cannot leave you out, my queen. Queen Rhonda Isaac, so many other Queen Giselle Johnny, who I know she's got quite a few people listening in on this call tonight. And I also want to honor our CEO, visionary himself, one of the co-founders of Sankey Global, the movement, King Jose Arvita. And one day soon, you will get a chance to lay your eyes on him as well, face to face. We were talking about that this morning, how we can truly bring just everything we can, everything we got, and leave it all out on the field in Jamaica when I come, to make sure we unite families, we elevate families, we engage families, we empower families to the movement, the mission, and the moment that we all come together and be united, because that's who we are, Sankey United. One dream, one message, and one team, and one voice, and one love. That's right. And so we're excited about Sankey uniting all of the Caribbean markets, but we're even more excited about Jamaica, Sankey Jamaica. And yes, I will be coming on the ground. I mean, these products have been such a blessing to me. This call has been a blessing to me. It's been so rich. I've been in and out on my Wi-Fi, and everybody in the home. I mean, we're just like, oh my God. Even my child care provider, she's from Spanish Town. She's my godmother's very dear friend, who's also originally born and raised in Spanish Town. And she's here with me. And she's like, oh my God, they got all that going on. I got to join. So she's like, please put me with a leader in Jamaica. I want to join. She's like, she's a former nurse, and she has so many doctors and different people that she has affiliations with. So I definitely want to connect. But I want y'all to text all the people that was on, tell them to jump back on. Because the team that's been spearheading this, Queen Beverly Wholeness, we have something we want to give away tonight. I have been authorized to give out some Ballage tonight. Okay. Wow. And yes, and we're going to do it in such a fashion where we're going to, I'm going to be telling you different things to do. And I need somebody else to monitor the chat group. So in the chat group, if you look down at your phone and you click down at the bottom to more, on the right-hand side, there's a button that says chat, okay? I'm going to be giving you some instructions throughout this last few moments. I'm only going to be on for a few moments, but I want to share a testimony. I want to share testimonies of what these products have done, the power of why they say 100% of the time with 100% of the people, okay? And so I'm going to be looking for the person that's the first person that responds to what I'm going to ask you. I'm going to be also looking for the number 5, because that's heavy in my spirit, the number of grace, and the number 8, okay, which is new beginnings. And I believe that we're on a journey with new beginnings here as we've entered into 2021, and people have gone through so much. And so they've come to this forum because they need to be empowered in their health and wellness, and they also need to be empowered in their wealth. They've come to this forum for so many different reasons, because perhaps they don't have enough to do enough. They don't have extras to have extra. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul. They got way more month than money. You know, they're looking to birth passion projects or kingdom building assignments. Perhaps you're on this call because you need a pay raise right now. You need to get back in your home. You need to get another car because you lost it during the pandemic. You've lost a loved one during the pandemic. You had to pay for funeral costs. Whatever it is that you might have been going through to get to, I want you to, first of all, the first person that says thank you in the group, I want you to get in a spirit of attitude of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. Whoever was the first person that said thank you in the group, thank the person that invited you, that loved on you so much, that decided they loved you so much to invite you to even consider the journey with Sankey Global. Whoever that was, I want you to put their name in the group and say thank you. The person that says thank you to whoever exposed them to this opportunity, to this platform, Beverly Wholeness, please write their name down. And at the end of this call, I want you to send me the name of the first person that said thank you to whomever it was, with that name of that person, their full name. I want you to start saying their full name. Thank you. If it's Beverly Wholeness, thank you, Queen Beverly Wholeness. If it's Clive Campbell, thank you, King Clive Campbell. Start honoring one another. The spirit of honor, the spirit of humility, the spirit of love. Watch how when you start activating in those things, your whole life will change when you honor people. So the first person that did that, I want you, Queen Beverly Wholeness, to send their name to me right now via WhatsApp. I want to give out some free ballage tonight. I want to bless a few people tonight. That's the first instruction. So these products truly do work 100% of the time with 100% of the people. I'm definitely in that 100% group. See, I battled with breast cancer for a very long time. 7% chance to live with that little boy's voice that you just heard, a baby growing inside of me, the one that just said, mommy. I was pregnant. I was in menopause. Didn't even think I could have any more children. One week I find out I'm pregnant in my 40s. The next week I find out that I'm how far along I am. And then a week after that, I find I have breast cancer with 7% chance to live. But God. And I needed a double mastectomy. I needed a hysterectomy. I needed all kinds of things, but I had to go through the process first. And they wanted me to terminate my baby. They said, it'd be easier if you terminate him so that you can survive, because you have other children you need to think about. And I couldn't get my head wrapped around that. And I made up my mind at that moment I would live and not die. I made up my moment that I would fight like I could never fight before, that my faith was going to trump my fear, because I was not fearful. I was petrified. Knowing the facts that no woman on my family at that particular time had lived to see their 59th birthday. I got one aunt now who's 61. One aunt. Everybody else, my mom, 36 years old, died. Breast cancer, heart disease, ovarian cancer, diabetes, grandmama died, 2 aunts died. I'd been through to so many funerals before I was 12 years old. So I'd always been on a quest to find products, especially for women. I always knew that my birthright had something to do to being attached to empowering women. I always knew that. But I just didn't know how to get to that. I didn't understand how to get out of my own way. We're going to talk about so many things when I come to Jamaica. I'm going to pour in so many nuggets and pearls of wisdom, things that have helped me along the way and also afforded me the possibilities and the opportunities to help families become financially free, to help over 33 families, matter of fact, that was in my organization and the health and wellness company become first-time millionaires in less than a year. And over 70 people in my whole organization to become a millionaire in less than 15 months. That's right. So I knew that, you know, you got to be careful how you treat people along the way when you're going up. Because I was, you know, grew up poor. My grandmother, she didn't have much, not even a 5th grade education, but she had a lot of love. And growing up poor was the best thing that could have happened to me, because I knew how to treat people. If I didn't know nothing else, I knew how to treat people. I knew how to tell people, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. I knew how to humble myself and tell people, I need you. I need you to help me, to show me how to do that. Because I grew up poor, but I also grew up in a learning disability class. I also grew up addicted to crack, because that's what my mother was on. So I was born that way. And it took years for that stuff to get out of my system. And so being the ugly duckling, being misunderstood, you better know how to be humble, and you better know how to show some gratitude, and you better know how to tell people thank you. You just learn how to do extra. You always got to prove yourself when you grow up different. And so along the way, and I was in network marketing, the very thing that I said I would never do, the very thing that you've been listening to tonight, the very thing that has blessed millions and millions of people, the very thing that Queen Beverly Wholeness saw in her heart when she came to Mexico to take a look at this. She didn't make no decision just based upon hearsay. She had to come and touch the ground and touch the products and touch the owners, and the owners touched her heart for her to make a decision. Will I endorse this? Will I put my name on this? Will I put my stamp on this? Because I cannot tell a lie. And when I joined this industry, I met a gentleman, a young man, because we were all, both was younger then, about eight years ago. And his name is Mr. Jose Avita. And I met him in a former opportunity. And he was coming kind of almost like to save that opportunity because it was crumbling. You know how sometimes people make all the money and then they get the big egos and it becomes a circus, right? So he's coming to put a plug in a leak. He was coming to fix it. Unfortunately, it didn't get fixed. It collapsed. But we became friends. And along the way, we decided to keep in touch. And when I had gotten sick, and even before I got sick, when my grandmother who raised me, who's my best friend, who was my everything, when she died, even before she died, he would check on me. It wasn't a call about what you can do for me. It wasn't about commissionship. It was true relationship. And I'm forever grateful. And so I knew one day we'd do something big together, but I never thought it would be this. But I knew it'd be something. You ever meet people and you know that they are a part of your prayer? You know that prayer that you pray in the midnight hour? You know that prayer when you're crying and you're promising God, if you just give me one more chance, that prayer. If you just show me grace one more time, that prayer. If you just cover me, Lord, one more time, that prayer. That's the prayer that I was praying when the opportunity of Sankey came in my lap to be a chief sales marketing officer here. And I've been forever grateful. And I started the products long before I took the opportunity. And the products in my home has blessed my children that suffered with ADD, attention deficit disorder. It has blessed my children that's been fatigued. It has blessed me from being reversed from having diabetes and high blood pressure. It has blessed me when another tumor tried to raise up in my body. It shrunk that tumor. Okay. I mean, there's been so many testimonies. It's blessed my husband with obesity. He's lost so much weight, but the amazing thing is he kept it off. So not just lose it. But one of the biggest blessings in brief that I want to share tonight, that I just shared with some friends, and they was blown away. And that's the testimony of my son Eric. My son Eric, in brief, you know, was someone who was always searching to be understood and loved. I had him when I was 13 years young. So I was a baby having a baby. And it was a roller coaster ride for him. I was trying to find myself throughout life, and he saw some things he shouldn't have saw. He heard some things he shouldn't have heard, and it molded him to really be a misfit. And being in the identity crisis, trying to figure out who's his father and who's the this and who's the that and all kind of stuff. He just went from one bad decision to the next. But then finally, one day he got it together. But maybe it was too late. One night I was flying out to Vegas for a mastermind session. This was back in December 2019. And I talked to my son before I boarded the flight. He was telling me about, all these things he's working on, and he had changed his life. He wasn't in the street no more. And I believed that. And I had a few people spying on him, so I know he was telling the truth. But sometime when time knocks, you got to answer. And he told me, tonight, Mom, I'm going to a bachelor party. I'm in so-and-so's wedding. I'm the best man, and it's this weekend, and I'm not going to hang out late because I got to take my twin girls to a field trip in the morning. I said, okay, cool. Call me tonight. Call me. He said, no, you call me when you land and let me know you made it safely. I said, okay. Well, in the midst of the 5-hour flight, I got a text message. I dozed off on the plane. I don't typically fall asleep on the plane, but I did this time. And I got a text message, and it was a text message, many text messages. And one said, your son has been shot. It's a strange number, shot in the head, and he died. And I didn't believe it at first. I didn't believe it. I said, maybe this is maybe a wrong number. I don't know, somebody playing on the phone, but what an awful thing to say to somebody. And I started scrolling to my phone, and I started seeing all these texts from people that I did know. And they were saying how they gave me the condolences that my son had died. I can't even explain the feeling that came over me, but I do remember getting out of that seat and laying on the aisle on the plane, face down, calling out the name of Jesus. Over and over again. A couple hours into the flight, I was still calling out his name. We landed. They did not even make me get back in my seat. They let me lay on that ground and call out Jesus. I landed. I rushed to the other gate to get on that flight to go be with my son. I did not know what I was about to walk into, but I had enough faith that I knew I had to be with him. When I walked through the doors, there was 5 or 6 doctors. They greeted me. They warned me, along with my sister, that what I was about to see is graphic because 25% of his brain was blown away. I listened to everything they had to say, the 0% chance, the 13 minutes that he was dead, that he's now brain dead, he's on life support, but he probably will not make it past 48 hours. What children did he have? What fiance, girlfriend did he have? Who could I call in to say goodbyes? And I don't know, something just raised up in me, Queen Beverly. And something just told me to ask everybody that did not believe to leave that room. I asked all the doctors, I said, get out. Everybody get out. That doesn't believe in miracles, get out. I don't care what it looked like, what it sound like, what it is like, get out.
Wow.
And Queen Beverly, I stood over my son and I began to cry. And you know how you have faith, but even in the midst of your faith, you're still scared.
Yes.
And I looked at my son and I looked at his eyes were black and dark and raccoons set in. And, it's like I knew he was hemorrhaging at the brain. I was looking at the injuries. I was looking at the wounds, because he'd been shot 3 times, once between the lung and the heart, did not even touch an organ, 2 times clipped the back of his head, and one side on the right through his temple where a bullet was still lodged. And as those doctors and nurses kept coming in throughout the hours, and his childhood pastor showed up, and then my daughter Angel showed up, and I get a little emotional every time I talk about this, but we all began to pray and just put oil all over his body. And I just remember saying, Lord, please let him live and not die. Please, Lord, let him get up out this bed and speak to the nations. And one day the nations shall call him blessed. And one day the nations and people will see him for not who he was, but who he can be in you.
Wow.
And Queen Beverly, the doctors, came in throughout those days and said, there's nothing else we can do, man. And you're going to have to start making some decisions because he's suffering. And I said, well, since you gave up on him, this is exactly what I told him. Is it any way possible you can allow some products that I want to bring in. And as a matter of fact, I got them in my bag. And I want to put it in the IV and the feeding tubes. I said, along with some prayer and maybe some of these products, I don't know, maybe he won't be as bad off when he opened his eyes. And they said, ma'am, you don't understand. He's not going to open his eyes. They were looking for something to calm my nerves and to bring me back to what they said was reality, like a shot or something. And I said, but no, just please, since you gave up on him. They said, you know what? We didn't got nothing to lose. Fine. It was almost like, give the crazy woman what she wants. And a few days went by. Queen Beverly, my son, opened his eyes. Queen Beverly, my son, pulled those breathing tubes out. A couple hours later, my son was talking. A couple of days later, my son was sitting up. A couple of days after that, he was eating on his own. On New Year's Eve of 2019, he was standing eating chicken fingers on social media, on Facebook, doing a Facebook Live, telling his New Year's resolution. Eric today is walking, talking. I need the fifth person that says, I believe in miracles.
Yep.
Text it just like that. Number 5, it says, I believe in miracles. The fifth person, send me their name, Queen Beverly.
Can you I want the person to put their name there for me now.
Put their name. Put your name. If your name is Clive Campbell, Clive Campbell, believe in miracles. Number 5. If your name is Dean, whatever your name is, put whatever your name is, believe in miracles. The fifth person. And don't you know today, Eric is working. Eric is walking, talking better than me and you. Done had several reconstructive surgeries. Eric is, matter of fact, I hadn't even made a big announcement, but I might as well tell the world now. I'm sure you got so many people on the call.
Let me do it.
Eric had a baby on January the 11th. That's not the big announcement. He had a baby. So, you know, as he was healing, he was dealing. Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all can do the math, right? He had a little girl. Her name is Aura. And Eric got married on January the 9th. I haven't told anybody because he asked me not to say nothing. But Eric is married on January the 9th. Now this final one I'm gonna ask y'all to do. Now don't ever get it twisted that I'm saying it was the Sankey products. I'm telling you it was faith. It was a whole lot of prayer. But I believe that God gives man wisdom to create products like Sankey.
Amen. Wow.
Do you hear me, my sister?
Yeah.
I can't wait to get on the ground with you. For those that didn't hear what she said, I will be on the ground for 2 weeks starting February the 23rd. I'm coming to deal with the small groups. I'm coming to give coaching to one-on-one. I'm coming to give coaching and I'm loving people, meeting you right where you at. Queen Bev and I going to be rocking this thing out. A few other leaders that have invited me into the marketplace. We are going to be blessing you with a wealth of information that if you apply it, your life will never be the same. Matter of fact, you might have problems in 30 days from the day I come, but money will not be one of them. I promise you that. Now, the eighth person that texts this. Okay, now listen to what I'm about to ask you as I come to a close to turn this call back over to Queen Beverly Holdings.
Wow.
You are going to get a free product as well. So 3 people are getting blessed tonight. I'm going to be bringing so many giveaways when I come on the ground. Y'all going to get sick of me. Y'all going to get sick of me hearing me on the radio, on TV, giving so much stuff away and loving on people and giving you the knowledge, the blueprint to success, to turning your whole life around. See, we don't just help you launch your Sankey business. We help you launch your life. The eighth person that says this, I desire to launch my life. Your name, desire to launch my life. The eighth person that puts that in the chat right now. With your name, I got to know your name. I can't just can't go off of that. If it's Rosanna, if I Denise Walker, I know you one of them. The eighth person, because 8 represents new beginnings, and tonight is your new beginning for the rest of your life. Will be the best of your life. Back to you, Queen Beverly. Thank you so much for allowing me to share.
Wow, 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 wow. We can't love you anymore. Thank you so much, Dr. Helen. You spoke and I'm listening. I am a mom of 5 and a grandma of 3. 4 biological and 1 adopted daughter. And I will tell you this. I have never experienced anything like what you just spoke about, Dr. Helen. But you know what? Like any other mother who is on the call now, we have seen our children and our child sick. And it pains our heart. If your child get a flu, I remember I saw my son with a flu and his nose was all stuffy. And when I called my mom, Dr. Helen, she said to me, put your mouth over his nose and pull that cold out, but don't pull it until he died. Just pull and release. I said, Mom, what are you talking about? She said, if you want him to breathe tonight, the way you said that he's stuffy and can't blow. I did not know anything about eucalyptus oil and all of that. And let me tell you something. Parents, I'm not sure if any of you on this line know what I'm talking about. Just put the word truth in the chat. So whether it is for a cold, whether it is for a cut, whether it's for any illnesses, when you look at your child as a mom and you are not able to help, you will do anything, just about anything to help that child. And I remember, Dr. Helen, when I put my mouth over my son's nose and pull some of that cold, I was so happy I forget to spit it out. Are you hearing me? So we can understand when you stood in that hospital.
Wow.
I was so happy when my son took a deep breath. I forgot to go and spit out the cold in the bathroom. Yes.
Wow.
And I have no problem in telling everybody that. So, Dr. Helen, I can imagine you standing there. The doctors say to you, the mom, your son has been shot multiple times with an AK-47 in the head, all over. And when the doctor said to you, there is nothing that we can do, you said, no, there is a God.
Yes.
And because you know that God gave man the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to create these amazing products, you said, hey, I'm not done with my son. I'm not done with my son. So the mere fact that you know as a doctor that he's going to die, allow me to kill him. Let me kill my son myself with these products. But I will feel guilty if I did not try. Because you know from the day that you enter Sancti Global that these products were blessed and are still blessed. And this is what you're going to bring to the entire world. Dr. Helen, I'll tell you, your job has just begun.
Amen, Queen Beverly. Amen.
You went to Bahamas, you're coming to Jamaica, your next trip is Trinidad. So you are going to tour the entire Caribbean and the world because we have a job to do. If we do not share the message of this product, it is a sin because there are millions of persons out there who are waiting on us. They are waiting on you and I. They are waiting on everybody on this call to tell them, to give them hope. They are waiting on Mr. Clive Campbell to tell them about the microbiome that they know nothing about. They are waiting on Dr. Denise to tell them about, Dr. Denise spoke about exactly how we should keep our vaginas. And she said tonight that the vagina needs to sleep. What is she talking about? My vagina don't need to sleep. I need to sleep. Are you hearing me? When I heard the information from Dr. Denise tonight, I said, oh my God. But the only thing I can tell you, we are about to start a microbiome movement in Sancti Global, and I'm telling you, we are taking it to the world. Dr. Helen, Canada is waiting on you, girl, and we are going to be going there together because we are going to go in every nook and cranny of the Caribbean, and we are going into Canada. So Marva, I see you online. Marva is out of Canada, Dr. Helen, and she's online and she can't wait for us to be there. Thank you so much. You are a beautiful soul. Thanks for being that awesome individual that you are. Thanks for the love that you have for people. Thanks for the love that you have for God, because if you did not love God, you would not love us. Thanks for all the work that you have been doing in Sancti Global. Because we need strong Black women like you to stand up and say it without fear. And I am right beside you, girl. You be my braces and I will be yours. And we will hold up every single individual right here on this chat and who have already left to ensure that we change their wealth and their health. As a matter of fact, the health first and their wealth. So guys, we had over 200 persons on the call tonight, 216 to be exact. And even at this time, we still have 120. And I think that it is imperative that I tell you exactly how to get the products. So Mr. 1000, could you please bring up the product packages for me? And I'm gonna ask Dr. Helen just to give me another 5 minutes after I speak about the packages, just to just give us, because normally we close the call and then we speak about the compensation plan. But because we stayed a little bit over on the call tonight, Dr. Helen, I'm just gonna tell the people on the call how to get the products. And I would just love if you could give them 5 minutes of the compensation plan. And I'm definitely going to answer some more questions, because we have persons in the chat room that are still asking questions and they need us to answer. So if
I know you got Mr. Vita that want to come on for 2 or 3 minutes.
Yes. Mr. Vita's right here. So you know what? We have 120 persons on the call, and I don't want any of these 120 persons to go without hearing from our CEO, Mr. Jose Arvida. I've met this gentleman, one of the sweetest person you have ever met. And you know what, Dr. Helen, I am waiting to escort him into Jamaica with my own 2 hands.
Oh, wow. That's so
I can't
awesome.
wait for him to be here. He is one of the best. When you have awesome products, you have fantastic leaders. I don't think that anyone could
Queen
want
Bev, he just texted me.
that.
He can't jump on. He said the call ran over a little bit longer, and he's on with the ownership, a board meeting right now. But he's listening in. He's been listening, but he's on another call speaking. He says so he can't jump on, but he would love to connect on the very next call. And if you could give him a segment, he would love to share his heart.
So therefore, I'm going to throw Dr. Helen right in the hot seat right now, right after I do these packages. So can I get the package on the screen? Okay. You have been invited to this call and you want to know how you can get the products. In Trinidad, we have a warehouse. In Jamaica, we also have a fulfillment center. In Bahamas, we have a fulfillment center. The products are the companies in Mexico and also in Las Vegas, right? So the person who invited you to the call, the possibility exists that you can purchase the product from them. That's the retail. You can also purchase your product as a customer. So the person who invites you to this call, they will send you a link. You will see the link and it says shop. You are able to go to that link, look at the products there, and just make your purchase. So if you are in Trinidad, Bahamas, or Jamaica, you will be able to get the product on the spot. You will get it between 24 to 48 hours because we have what you call a fulfillment center. For the US, I think Dr. Helen help me with this. They might get the product in maybe 2 to 4 days. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For the other persons who are in other islands like Cayman, other places, because we have several other Caribbean islands on the call, what you can do, use what you call your intermediate shipper. So it doesn't matter where you are, you have what you call an intermediate shipper. You can use that intermediate shipper and you will get your product in approximately 2 weeks. But what I want you to rest assured is that we are coming. We will have a fulfillment center in every nook and cranny of the Caribbean, and that's a guarantee. Are you with me, Dr. Helen? I'm not sure if our call dropped. So
I'm all the way with you. I'm all the way live, 100%. Got your back, your front, your toes, your hair on your head, whatever we need to do, let's do it.
Fantastic. Okay, so we have 4 or 5 packages. We have 2 package, which is, we have one, the Vision 2020, that package. So when you purchase a package now, you are now what you call a distributor, meaning that you have started your business. So remember, I told you about customer. As a customer, you are able to just buy. You can buy, you can sell, you can give away, whatever. So you will get a link that says shop. However, when you get a link that says enroll, it means that you are going to be enrolling yourself in the company to become a distributor if you so choose. All right. And based on what is happening around the world economically, I don't see who would not want to be able to earn some extra money from awesome products like these. So right here we have the Vision 2020. The starter package. That package is for $159 US. You get 2 Bellage and a Crenewed Fire. All right, that's a good start. Take one of the Bellage, take one of the Crenewed Fire, sell one, so that you can always purchase your product. We have the Vision Pack, and you will see there also for $159. That package will give you a taste of everything. You get an Asaki, you get some Shinkles. Shinkles just mean that you get a small amount of product. It's an inner 7. There's a beautiful cup. So you get a taste of all 4 products. So the Vision 2020 pack, I normally recommend that because it gives you a chance to taste all the products. You have the basic pack for $2.99. That also is enough. I wouldn't say not enough, but it's a good amount of products for you to start your business and for you to get some products. We have another package for $5.99. You see it right here. And we have another package for $1,050. But what I want to say to you, each of these packages that you're seeing here, as soon as you would have introduced somebody to the company and they purchase a package, the company will say thank you and pay you. And we will just briefly, I'm going to ask Dr. Helen just briefly to take maybe about 5 minutes or less just to tell us a little bit about the compensation plan or the returns that we will get on our investment based on
Absolutely.
purchasing the package.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. 5 minutes or less. We have one of the most lucrative compensation plans, guys, and we just enhanced it for an additional pay raise. Okay. So I'm going to just break it down in brief. I wouldn't even pull up the old slide. We have a revised PowerPoint presentation that I've sent to the leaders just on today. So you guys can get that from your leaders there in Jamaica. We just finished it. So they're just getting it hot off the press. And I also just want to remind you that because we've entrusted Queen Beverly Wholeness to this movement and also King Clive Campbell there, we have a fulfillment center on the ground. That doesn't happen too often where you get a company that starts to put fulfillment centers on the ground in Caribbean markets that have not yet made the mark. You got to remember when we decided this, it was during a pandemic. But we believe in the leadership so much. We believe in the people in the country of Jamaica so much that we know without a shadow of a doubt that this is going to be one of the greatest wealth transfers and one of the greatest streams of income that you're going to create is going to be through Sankey Global. So when you do enroll people, as Queen Beverly has so eloquently said to you tonight, the enrollment packages that you can choose, then what happens is you can also opt to use the fulfillment center there in Jamaica. You have access to things right there on the ground, just as if you lived in Turks and Caicos. There's a fulfillment center there. There's one in the Bahamas. There's one in Trinidad and Tobago. So we're moving and we're growing leaps and bounds. One of the most lucrative ways of pay that I absolutely love is the customer acquisition. So let me tell you a little bit about that. Let's say you shared a testimony like what you heard tonight. There were so many testimonies, or just the testimony of the rich education and empowerment and the elevation that you will experience when you hear people like King Clive Campbell talk, okay? So when you share with someone that I have access to something that can empower you, products that work 100% of the time with 100% of the people, I have access to something that is reversing, recovering, and restoring people's health and their wealth. I have access to something that will reverse diabetes, heart disease, even cancer, that will protect you from all viruses, that even if you was to contract the virus of COVID, you will not succumb to the virus of COVID. When you share things just like that, because some of you may still be saying, who am I going to share this with? Who will really need these products? Everybody in the world that's fearful of succumbing to COVID, catching COVID, they right there, just the Village in the Inner 7 alone is enough to safeguard their health. You share that with 3 people that decide to move forward with you, just the Village and the Inner 7. They don't even have to buy all 4 products. 3 people, you have just earned $100 US dollars. You hear me? 15 people, you've earned $500. 30 people, you've earned $1,000 US dollars, and so on and so on. I have stories of people that put one post on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and they are earning $1,000. They hitting the comma club in one day. One day, just getting customers. If they never sign anyone up as a distributor, they are making money hand over fist with just sharing testimonies, inviting people to calls like this, letting the call close their people, inviting people to something called a Lifestyle Connect that we offer here in corporate every single night at 9 p.m. Central. It's 100% closed, guarantee. Matter of fact, there's a call about to come up in 15 minutes that all of you need to be logging on and listening to that. So you say, wait a minute, hold on, this is what they're offering? So that's right, we work for you. We work for you, and we're proud of it. Then we also have people that say, wait a minute, I'm taking this to the next level. I'm going to build me a little team so I can get me some residual money. I want more residual money, because customers now, when they start the products, they ain't going to stop. So every time they spend money, you're going to make money every single month. Did you hear me with both your ears? Every time people make their reoccurring order on these products, you're going to make money every single month. That's right. See, people don't quit things that's helping increase the longevity of their life. People do not quit things that are making them happy, giving them sustainable happiness, restoring their health. People don't quit things that are also restoring their wealth. So when you start to build a team, don't you know that we're paying up to 90% on the first order? Somebody enroll with you or decide to buy products, want to be a VIP customer, it doesn't matter. 90% you're going to get on your first level. Somebody introduced somebody, that's your second level. So you brought Todd in and Todd brought Angie in, you're going to get paid 10% off of her. You heard what I said. That's right. And then here, all you got to do is build 2 legs. That's it. 2 teams. 2 teams. That's 2 people. 2 and you're through. And that's called a binary, right? And we give unlimited payouts in our binary. You heard what I said. Check matches. Can you imagine? Every time you bring somebody in, that's your person. And everything that they do, you get a 25% check match off of everything that they do, your directs. That's more money. Can you say more money? Can somebody put it in the chat right now? Try to figure out how to spell more. Because, yeah, I'm a country girl from Charleston, South Carolina. I didn't say more. I said more. More money, more money. I need somebody to put in the chat right now. Give me my pay raise. Give me my pay raise, because you want your pay raise with Sankey Global, and you just got it. I'm telling you, a binary, 2 legs, 25% check match. We get a pool. You get a binary pool. It's so much ridiculous money when you start going up the chart. You come in, you get your first rank, and when you join, and you get your first distributor, you hit your first rank. We're making it easy, we're making it simple, and we're making it fun. There's so many people on this line tonight, including Queen Beverly, who's already hit the rank of silver. And with this new compensation plan, you requalify for silver. That's a minimum of $4,000 a month coming into your house residual. Do you hear me now? Okay. The next rank that Queen Beverly's going to hit, because she's the highest rank in all of Jamaica. And I'm sure she's probably going to be one of the first to earn her car, her Mercedes. Oh, you heard what I said.
Yep,
Hey, you just might as well go ahead and fill out the papers and put my name on the purchase order and hand me my keys when you come, because that is mine. And you surely will get it when you hit platinum and you earn it twice, 2 consecutive months in a row. You will get your choice of a Mercedes or a Tesla. Now, some people say, I don't want a car. I don't need a car. I already got a Mercedes. Great. Then we're going to give you the cash. The down payment and the monthly payments thereafter. That's what we're doing. Now, guess what? We don't stop there. We're giving out certificates because we believe in celebrating people and meeting them where they're at. You understand? And not just tolerating people, but celebrating people, loving on them. High recognition. So every level you get pins and certifications. But guess what? When you hit platinum, not only are you getting a car, but you're getting a ring with diamonds. See, girls and guys love diamonds. That's right. Especially them Super Bowl rings. Who want the Super Bowl ring? I want to see in the chat right now. Send me my Super Bowl ring. That's right. Send me my Super Bowl ring. When you get the platinum, you're going to get a blazer, an executive blazer. Oh, it's beautiful too. Oh my God. I can't wait. I can't wait for the people on tonight that's from all over the Caribbean market to see this ring, this jacket. It is absolutely gorgeous. But we don't stop there. Presidential Rolex watches, trips to Dubai, because we will travel again. You know, we will get through this. It's not a if we will, it's a when we will, and we will get through this together. Dubai, we're going to Tokyo, all around the world. You earn trips, so many different things. And the give back that we have here is amazing. The give back program that we have to help people to grow. So it's fun, it's simple, it's so easy. And I hope and I pray that you all see and feel and experience and have your own testimony of the new enhancement that we have with the pay raise here with Sankey Global. Back to you, Queen Beverly Holness.
Wow. Dr. Helen, there are only two types of persons in this world, buyers and sellers. And I have learned from an early age that poor people don't love to sell, only the rich sell. And I want to tell everybody on this line, you ain't poor anymore when you are a part of this amazing journey with Sankey Global. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to change your mindset and get yourself on the selling side, because the rich is either they're selling a product or a service, and we are always buying from them. And I also want to add to this, it doesn't matter the house you live in. It doesn't matter the type of car that you drive. If you do not have good health, you can't enjoy it. But if you have wealth and you don't have no health, you still can't enjoy it. And this company is giving all of us the best of both worlds. We are going to die without a doubt, because once you make an entrance into this world, the exit door is waiting. But it's one thing I know, if I stay on these products, I am going to die, but I'm not going to die kicking and screaming. I'm going to die beautiful. What says you, Dr. Helen?
Absolutely. And I just got a text from the CEO reminding everyone that Dr. Adeas, the person that invented these products, is speaking to having a VIP call. You have to be invited by someone, one of the ambassadors, one of the top leadership, which is Queen Beverly Holness, King Clive Campbell, and so many others that's on. But it's tomorrow night. And I'm sure they're going to be sending that information to each and every one of you, because they only hold 1,000 people on this line. Wow. So I know that in the group, they're going to be promoting it. And I'm even going to put, he also asked me to put in the chat, and they won't let me do it. I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to send this link to you, Queen Beverly, to maybe you can copy and paste it, because I got to jump off here in a moment. And I'm going to send a link for the 9 o'clock lifestyle opportunity call that we have every single night that introduces the new PowerPoint presentation, the new enhancement of the pay raise, and all of those good things. And I'll also make sure you have that number for Dr. Adeas tomorrow night. We hope to have all of you on to listening to every word. And he's got some special announcements about some new enhancements, even with the product line, of a different way, a different perspective that we can share this information that's going to be mind blowing. So thank you again for allowing me to share. I'm going to log off now. God bless each and every one of you. I love you, but remember, God loves you best. Good night, my friends.
Thank you so much, Dr. Helen. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You are awesome. Thank you for being on. Thank you. All right. Guys, Dr. Helen, I have to jump on to another meeting, but King Clive, are you still there, sir? King Clive, are you with us?
Yes, very much I am.
Yes, we still have 101 persons on the call, and there are many questions. And I do believe the mere fact that they stayed on the call, it means that, sir, we should answer some of these questions. What says you?
Okay, which ones can we? Because what I was speaking to Dr. Denise, and
Yes.
she was suggesting that we could answer the questions in two ways.
Yes.
We could speak to those persons individually, and also
Yes.
next week when we start, the first thing we'll do is answer some of the questions,
Okay,
along with
great.
having our CEO also, Mr. Avida, on the call also. So next week is already planned to be special, and we'll also be looking at the whole issue of weight issues. So it
Okay.
is all jam-packed come next week. We thank you guys for coming out in your numbers tonight. We thank each island represented, each country represented, each family represented. You did so well. And Lady Bev, we thank you so much for doing what you do best, coordinating all of this to happen. So I hand over back to you to bring closer to this call. Thank you.
Thank you so much, King.
Are we hearing you? Okay. I'm not hearing you. I'm not sure if everybody else is having that same situation, but the internet seems to be acting up. But just to say, we thank you all for coming. We are now bringing this call to a close, and we thank you all. See you again next week, but in particular tomorrow night, we want to be on that call for Dr. Adeas, the big man out of Japan. Bless you. Have a good night now, and take it easy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.